Davis gives it a ride again. Are you kidding me? That's his third home run of the day.
Eric Keith Davis was born to James and Shirley Davis on May 29, 1962, in the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Eric grew up in the heart of central Los Angeles at 6606 Denver Avenue. It was on those streets, sandlots, and basketball courts that Eric's athletic reputation was established early on. In Eric's life, there have been many individuals who have helped shape the person he is today, but none had more influence in establishing the determination with which he goes after everything, be it creating a strong family unit, chasing down a line drive, or putting one into the upper deck, than his mother Shirley and his father James Sr. This is where the story of Eric Davis really begins. A father who is also a teacher, mentor, and above all, a role model, and a mother who gave encouragement and required of her children the best they had to give. The man whose life we are about to examine over these next few minutes is a product of a strong family and how these values can sustain someone during the worst of days. As a kid, Eric realized that in addition to his drive, determination, and athletic talent, he had one other thing going for him: better burst. What that means, and still means years later, is Eric was quicker from a standstill than those around him. Eric Davis is what baseball people call a five-tool player: run, catch, throw, hit, and hit for power. Learning patience and humility were lessons taught early, starting in 1980 with the Cincinnati Reds baseball organization. He spent 4 years with the minor league organization, playing in Eugene, Oregon, Cedar Rapids, Wichita, Waterbury, Connecticut, and Indianapolis. Finally, in 1984, while in Wichita, Kansas, he got the call to meet the Reds in St. Louis. Eric showed them immediately what he could do. In September of '84, he had 5 home runs in one 4-game stretch. September of 1984 was also the date for the first of Eric's 9 sports-related surgeries, this one on his right knee. Pete Rose, Eric's manager from '84 to '89 with the Reds, explained to Eric from the beginning that his wide-open game, especially on defense, would lead to breaks and sprains, wear and tear. Like just about everything else Pete Rose ever told Eric Davis about baseball, he was 100% right. In 1985, Eric opened the season with the Reds, then was sent down one more time to Denver. In September of 1985, when the call-up came, along with it was the final word from Pete Rose. Quote, "Eric, you're my center fielder." In 1986, Eric Davis, number 44, moved into the Cincinnati Reds starting lineup for good. Along with becoming a big league baseball player, Eric had found a teammate who became his instructor, guide, benefactor, role model, who showed by example what the man is supposed to do on the baseball field. Dave Parker, affectionately called Pops by Eric, was all of that, and his outfield companion in right field. The Dave Parker work ethic was further brought out when Eric made the front cover of Sports Illustrated. As part of the article, they interviewed the baseball player Eric was constantly compared to, Willie Mays. The Mays quote is as follows, quote, "It's an honor to be compared to Eric Davis. I hope Eric is honored. In the end, all I do is compare numbers on paper, and that's not always the game." In 1987, Eric became a top-end big leaguer, superstar. How do we know that? Because Pete Rose and Dave Parker told Eric he was. Case closed. Also in December of 1987, Eric Davis married the love of his life, Sherry Brewer, at Mount Moriah Baptist Church in Los Angeles. Eric won the first of 3 straight Gold Gloves for defense and was on the Silver Slugger team for offense, Player of the Month for April and May. The first time a baseball player had been named Player of the Month for 2 consecutive months since Michael Jack Schmidt did it in 1979. In the summer of 1989, Pete Rose, the only manager Eric Davis had known in the majors, stepped down and was replaced by Lou Piniella. Even though it was Lou's team that headed into the World Series in 1990 against the Oakland A's, the unit was a result of Pete, who was a group of young ball players and suffered through the growing pains that led to a Cincinnati Reds team that took the series in 4. Game 4 also took Eric out of the ballpark on a stretcher. the result of a diving catch that put him in the hospital with a crushed kidney. While the rest of the team was back in Cincinnati enjoying the rewards of being a championship team leading a victory parade to Fountain Square in downtown Cincinnati, Eric was in a hospital bed at Merritt Hospital in Oakland, California. A year in 1995 refueled Eric, and in 1996 he returned to play where he started, Cincinnati. In 1997, Davey Johnson was managing the Baltimore Orioles and reached out for one of his favorite players and brought Eric Davis to Baltimore. What started out to be a very promising year began on April 22nd with Eric hitting a home run off Danny Darwin of the Chicago White Sox. However, a week later, Eric started having flu-like symptoms that were in actuality the first symptoms of cancer. By the end of May, Eric was taken into University of Maryland Medical Center for a checkup with thoughts of cancer on the doctor's mind. By early June, it was determined that Eric did in fact have colon cancer, and on Friday, June 13th, he was operated on for a malignant tumor the size of an orange or baseball. This time, lying in a hospital bed, Eric did not have to wonder for long what his team owners thought about his situation. A quiet next door answered that in the person of Mr. Peter Angelos, majority owner of the Baltimore Orioles. Alone and unassuming, Mr. Angelos was there to assure Eric that once an Oriole, always an Oriole. After meeting with Peter Angelos, Eric wrote in his book Born to Play, quote, "I knew he was the type of man I would not mind running into a wall for." For Eric Davis in his personal life, being the man has meant giving back to the community what everyone gave to him during his diagnosis, surgery, and recovery from colon cancer. To accomplish that objective, he created the Eric Davis Foundation, whose major goal is to raise money to benefit colon cancer research and pediatric oncology. To lead by example, most of the proceeds from Eric's off-the-field activities have been donated to the foundation. In addition, Eric has made numerous public service announcements about colon cancer awareness. He has appeared on hundreds of television and radio talk shows, given numerous interviews for publication in newspapers and periodicals to help raise public awareness about colon cancer in the areas of detection by early screening, eating healthy, getting plenty of exercise, and having regular checkups. Eric's motto, which has become a signature for all his media exposure, is "Take control and stay ahead of the game." This year as last, Eric Davis will head into spring training with the St. Louis Cardinals and once more bring to the game his same level of intensity and enthusiasm. More importantly to the baseball, Eric Davis will continue to lead by example.